Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm too happy to have you. If you're my some subscribers, welcome back to the channel. So for today's video, we're going to be talking about Luigi Migatoni. I think that's how you pronounce his name. But anyway, besides the point, I am going to slip back because sometimes I'm going to say the word Lewis and Luigi. I'm going to try to make sure I stay on base here. This video is being recorded on December 11th on Wednesday at 12:03 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that is when I am recording this video. I said before in my past two most recent videos that I felt like it was a setup. So we are going to explore that in today's cars. Actually, ironically enough, I was thinking about it. I had all the tables set up to do this video. And I must have been really thinking about it so hard that this deck here, the homemade tower deck, just fell off the table. And this is the position in which it came in. And I asked my guys, I'm like, is this the answer to the thing that I've been thinking about? And they're like, yeah. So like, don't move it. So I had to take a photo of it. So I'll show you proof that when this photo was taken, just for reference here. So this is what it looked like when it fell on the floor. Okay. And this is the time in which, oops, I don't want to show my location, but okay, but you just gotta trust me here. It dropped at 11:40 p.m. 11:40 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that is when this video is being recorded. I was gonna show you that, but then I realized my address is on there, so I'm not gonna do that. But let's just jump right into it, and then we'll do an actual reading live on the video. But I just wanted to let you know that, make sure I just clear out why all the cards are already preset. Anyway, thank you for all of you guys who have been engaging with the content, liking, subscribing, hitting the bell icon. Make sure you hit the bell icon so you do get notified when I do upload. I do know a lot of you guys have not done that, so if you haven't done it already, go and do it. Let's just begin. I just want to say this video is just for entertainment purposes only. Everything in this video is alleged, and there you go. So that is all you need to know. This is, again, entertainment purposes only. So let's just begin and let's see what comes up from this. Alright, so sorry guys. Trying to figure out why it's not focusing. I think it might be the light in the wrong direction. That might be better. Okay, so we're asking ourselves, I would think about what is the setup, right? My question is he guilty? What is the setup? I think personally it is a setup, but let's see what the cards say. I'll keep my opinion out of this, but just want to make sure I will make that well known to you guys, just so you know where I should before, but I always read bipartisanly. Okay, so we have the first card that's come up on the right side, which is kind of like giving us the month of January. This is the month of January card. It has always been when I created it. This is January. Okay. We have like kind of like summertime, but we have buildings and happiness and, just calmness in this reading. It's a city, and there's a red car here. Ironically, we keep getting red cars. I don't know what it is. So there is some sort of connection to Luigi, to the red car. So if you have not been following or watching my videos, I kept talking about red car. There's something with the red car. I don't know what it is. It just keeps showing up in every reading. We have loss or lose. So there's a lose here, but it's a reverse. We have here followed by what we don't know, which is believe. So I don't know why I chose this color, but it said the word believe or bleed. Actually, no, you know what? B-L-E-E. Maybe that's why I did it. I don't know. But it's reverse, which is telling me here that there was some loss of blood. Possibly there might have been a transfer. Yeah, that's what it is. There's some sort of transfer here. There it is. That's the transfer. Then here it is again. There is a red car. Now, normally this car means that when it's upright, it means it's moving fast. When it's reversed, it means it's slowed down. But in this case, it's sideways. I think it's this way. They had it, like sideways. I feel personally that it was a setup from what I'm getting from the information so far, because it's saying here that there was a transfer, because blood is a transfer. You transfer blood from one person to another. And so I wonder if they got the wrong guy and they're dragging his name through the mud, accusing him of a heinous crime. Now, we do have here, it is a sideways cloudy or tower card in retrospect, right? It's another cloud, very stormy, very cloudy, but look what's right above the moon. When you have a moon, and specifically an eclipse, it goes through a certain phase. So this is a phase that he was divined to be in, but this moon is indicating to me that there will be something that will be revealed that will come to light. Now, we all know he did not try to escape, right? It almost feels like it was the manifesto, everything that regarding Luigi, that didn't line up, just didn't make sense, right? Why didn't he just escape? Why was he in the same clothes? Why was he still carrying a weapon? Like, it doesn't make sense. And the manifesto was praising the police. So normally why would somebody be praising the police for finding them? It makes no sense, right? And not to mention the person who tipped, who was, quote unquote, was a McDonald's worker because they wanted money. I bet it turns out after the fact that they're not going to be most likely to receive any money after doing an anonymous tip because, well, they called 911 instead of the tip line number. So therefore, they're not likely to get the money at all, if any. So we do have here, he's done the neck cards here. We have black, which means there's some sort of black void with a male, some darkness, potentially depression. We do have here, it does link to family, so there is a family connection here. Ironically enough, Luigi comes from a family that is highly Republican in nature, but yet people are saying, oh, this is the Democrat, right? This is somebody who's liberal. But in retrospect, he's actually more Republican than he is liberal, so just want to make sure that's known. We do have here Christmas, right? And it's reverse. It goes like this. What's telling me there is some sort of link or information that's going to come out that there's some sort of link here, some family link, potentially to the Congress. I do know he has a family member in Maryland who is serving in Congress right now. And he turned off all his contacts, his comment section, so no one's able to comment anything on his page. Well, there is some sort of connection here to Congress. But it feels like there was a setup. It almost like there was an agreement made by this cousin who is in Maryland to put his cousin in this position for some sort of policy gain. We have Arizona. So it had to do with something with the desert. Almost feels like to me that there was something that was drying up and it needed something to come back to life. And the cactus in this aspect is immune to those type of situations. So there is some sort of motion here, some sort of movement that led to this type of agreement. Again, everything in this video just for life purposes only. Now we do have April. So there is a crack here. And the crack is coming around sometime before April, after April. I think within the next 4 months, 4 weeks, 4 days, even 4 hours even, there will be information that will start to crack. But it's going to take time. It could even be possible it could be after Easter as well that he might get released. But over time, when that information comes to light, it starts cracking, the truth will emerge. But right now the truth is reversed. So normally when the card says stop, that means I have to stop reading. So this is to stop reading on this side, but let's keep reading from this side. So we have two. So there's two males here. There's two males with a door, a closed door, or an opportunity. And there's something slowing down. So some sort of slow process. This is the Infinity Stone, right? We have here tick-tock, right? Time. Again, there's time, right? Tick-tock. You gotta move. We have here spirit, message, communicate, text. So there's information that's written. So maybe potentially there is text that will either exonerate him or will expose him. But there is some sort of text that is written. We do have the devil. Okay, so it looks like, it looks like this person, there is information about this individual who committed the crime was the actual one, and he was able to be exonerated and he goes out of jail. So I do think that Luigi does get free. He doesn't live his life in crap. But there is no horizon because it looks like to me there is a tower moment that's coming and people are going to be pissed. This has to do more with the government. It almost feels like in some capacity, it could be very possible that Trump could pardon him, but it looks more than anything that like people are going to be pissed. Whatever it is that's going on around this time, people are pissed because it involved corruption of members in Congress that aided and enabled this behavior. Now, this is what I feel genuinely from what I'm getting from the cards, is that there's a very high probability that um, the workings of Congress will start to make a little bit more sense to the people where like, oh, so, you're willing to sell out your cousins, your aunts, your grandma in exchange for a policy agreement to make them serve time in jail just so that they can get away with the crime or that someone could put forth a certain ideology or a certain agreement or a certain policy standpoint or a certain agenda just so that you can get paid because you're the congressman and so that the person who hired this individual can also get paid, but the person who is innocent in all of this is the one who gets the punishment. It almost feels like there is some sort of play here. It feels like, in Congress, it feels like they are willing to sell out their own family members or friends or people that they know, even if they don't know them on a personal basis, willing to sell them out and to frame them essentially for it, so that there is some sort of policy agreement. It almost feels like, oh, for example, I'll explain it this way. You have a corporate guy coming in. He's like, I need to be able to have access to all these houses on just the Indian Head Road in like Pennsylvania, right? So the guy comes up to one of the congressmen, and the congressman's like, no problem, we can certainly do that. But in order for us to do that, we need to cause a big problem. So we're going to create an oil spill. We're going to have my cousin likes to do, and he's part of the truck industry. We're going to have him that day drive an oil rig or like an oil tank, and we're going to have him tip over. We're going to get faulty wiring, and we're going to have him tip over in the area where all those houses are. Which means that if they tip over, the value of the house drops. So therefore, people either have to leave or succumb to the environmental hazard that is now posed upon them by their environmental risk and a lack of regulation and corruption with the oil rig or the oil tank. And then he's able to get those houses for cheaper. He's able to get what he needs, and those people who he just did became campaign donations. And so donators or big donors, stuff like that. So that is the thing. It's talking about more so about the corruption in Congress and how they're willing to sell out their own family members to get in ahead or to get to where they want to go or whatever thing they want to do. If they want to become the president of the United States, oh God help us. But that is my point. And that is what I'm getting, the bigger picture here, outside of Luigi Magatoni. So now I'm going to ask, is he going to get released? Because that is what the cards say. But we never actually physically asked the cards directly. So let's see if these cards or any of the cards here agree with what this card said. So let's see. Okay. We have the Magician card. Is Luigi Magatoni innocent? Or was it a setup? What's the story between Luigi Magatoni and the, what do you call it? The unaliving of the CEO? So tell me to use the Illuminati deck because there's some capacity it has to do with government interference. So, let's see. You guys let me know in the comment section below what you think, because I'm really curious to see what you guys been getting, because this is a very interesting topic, and it's also very sad that if he is innocent and, all this things to come out, is that, you're ruining a person's life. You really are. And there's no way that they can come back from this. But, that's what it is with the American people, right? The American government. Again, like I said in the other reading, America's entering into the French Revolutionary phase of his life and the next chapter of America. Okay, so we have Deep Agent. We have here Fendus Florators, so there's some sort of drug. Madison Avenue. I control the big meter MTV. You need more stuff. Okay, so I feel bad for this guy. Okay, so okay, this video is just for entertainment purposes only, and everything in this video is alleged. Okay, now we understand a little bit more about what happened. I actually want to know what his parents do. because that is coming up in the reading pretty strongly. Luigi, Mangione, parents. Because apparently he comes from a wealthy background that we don't know completely, but let's see. You have Brian Thompson. Okay, no, that's not it. So we have Nino. So let me go to Nino. Nino Mangione, who is the politician from Maryland. What's it called? News is damning Mangione tied to Baltimore. I'm trying to find out. I don't know. I don't see anything regarding the family. Something like the family is like very secretive. So it says here Luigi Mangiatone's sprawling family found success after patriarch rise. Okay. Don't really understand what that means, but okay. I'm trying to go into to see if he has his aunt or uncle on here with the politician. Background maybe. Nicholas Mangione. His great grandfather. Okay, so this is actually, ironically enough, um, this is a family that is heavily invested in politics. So, what's it called? Nicholas Bernard Magoni, I think it says. He was born on February 17th, 1925, and died on November 2nd, 2008. And his relatives are Louis Magoni, was the son, Nina Magagoni, and Luigi Mangione, who's the grandson. Interesting. So there are some sort of relations here to everything. The spouse is Mary Cuba, which is even more interesting. They lived in Little Italy for a little bit, so I guess they came over from Italy. Um, okay, so Magagoni descended 10 children and 30 grandchildren, remain a prominent family in Maryland business and politics. He was the founder of Lorraine Health Services and owner of the radio station WCMBM, both in Baltimore, Maryland. Mangione also owned country clubs, hotels, and resorts in the Baltimore area, including Hayfield Country Club and Turf Valley. Okay. Interesting. So they were very wealthy, clearly, based on what we're already getting. That this is the grandfather. They owned a lot of real estate in Maryland. So now we're talking about like the possibility of them selling out their cousin or whoever's selling out who for some sort of money and framing them in order to get some sort of big donation to their campaign. Well, that's what it appears like. So here's what it feels like based on what the Illuminati cards are getting, and I'm getting this in these cards as well, is that there is a deep agent. There was some sort of agreement that was made between the family. Like, it makes sense. Because think about it this way. Have you seen anybody from the family coming out and speaking about this? Whether they're saying, oh, my son is innocent, or my cousin's innocent, or they're guilty. No one's saying anything. They're very quiet, right? Not to mention that, what do you call it? You have all these people, then all these people who's friends with, his relative, people who he was in Hawaii. They've been saying that he was really sweet, very nice, he's an amazing guy. If he accidentally ate one of your food, like he would buy you a new one. That's what people are saying. And everybody who came in contact with him always has something nice to say about him. Right? That is what is being said. Because this is the deep agent here. It was telling me there was something underlying. There was some sort of selling out. Right? The deep undercover agent. Now, we do have here drugs. I do feel like he was being drugged. And that he was being fed information. Because apparently, during this time period, before the lead up to the unaliving of the CEO, he went missing for 3 months. His friend tried to get in contact with him. His family didn't put out any sort of information regarding what to call it? What's that? The Amber Alert? Anything like that? Nothing. He was just gone for 3 months entirely into the lead up of this, which means that he could be fed information, be fed false information, be fed drugs or something like that. Could be in effect in his body. We do have here Big Avenue Madison. I wonder if there is something in Maryland that has to do with Madison. Because I remember seeing something in Madison. Madison, Maryland. Okay, so there is actually a Madison in Maryland. I don't know what that had to do with anything there, but I wonder if he lived. Let's see. Luigi address. Let's see. Not Luigi, not pizzerias. Luigi Mangione. Okay, so apparently it's not coming up anymore. I believe he lives somewhere in there. Maple Grove. Okay. Anyway, you have Madison Avenue. I do feel like, for this, it feels like his father. I don't know what his father does, and I can't prove it. I don't know because there's no information on it. It's almost like they're very hidden. They almost like they clean themselves of information. That is what it feels like. It feels like the father in some capacity had to do with information regarding the deep agent and some sort of drugging of the kid. And false information. It's like you need more. You need more stuff, right? We are not ready yet. We do have the magician wielding power and truth. We do have him. I'm seeing what, like, almost like he's spinning in his head, like his mind is spinning, like he can't focus. With some almost like vertigo. We do have the page of wands. And the page of wands is he lacked the future. There's a lacking of something. Could it come in here with upheaval? Things in his life are about to get uprooted. And we have here, it's not the end for him. But I think they need to do a toxicity exam. Because on the top here, the guy who did it is the one getting away. Because it almost feels like he was the fall person for whoever this is. They feel like this Luigi is the fall person for whoever committed the crime, and that because they're like, oh well, we can clear out his name later, but we'll let this person get away with the crime, let them not do the time, let my grandson do the time, stuff like that. It feels like very politically motivated, and it feels like it's very dirty, gross, disgusting dealing. What else is Luigi gonna get free? Is he gonna get released? We have here Tribunal Commission, liberal straight. Okay, so it's like I can't speak. Oh, that's what it means. Okay, so it says here I can't speak. Because you have here the person covering their eyes, which means I can't speak. There's some sort of restriction of speech. We do have here Society for Creative Organism, violent and weird. There's a voice, but look in the background, right? It feels like a portal, like a warp, right? It's giving me very weird vibe. We have here gun lobby, conservative, violent, followed by SMOF, Trekkies, conspiracy, weird. Okay. Here we have here Senate Investigating Committee. Okay. Followed by the last card, which is yuppies. Again, I feel like this feels like what's it called? The Mendez brothers. There's something going on that's similar to the Mendez brothers that is happening in this family. It's almost like there's going to be a repeat. Yeah, there's going to be a repeat because there's a recycler here. There's a repeat that's going to happen or take place. I think he's going to know that it's them and he's going to go after them. And then you'll know he's actually serious. But I don't think he is. I think he's just pissed off that he was sold out. We do have here, this feels and looks like Colonel Sanders, but we have more minority and conservative straight fanatic. I do feel like, to me, here than anything, it feels very aggressive. Now, if you look at this book, right, look very closely, there's a feather, a little bit of fire. Now, what is a feather? White feather specifically indicates very light, fluffy, purity, and there's fire on it, which means hate, anger, aggression. Right? You have this guy screaming and yelling. He's in color yellow, which represents your solar plexus, which is in your gut, the anger in his gut, which tells me here that eventually he will go after his family. I do feel like his family sold him out. I do. And I think that Luigi is pretty innocent based on what it feels like. It feels like he was actually the victim in this aspect, but it doesn't make any sense, the motive of why Luigi had to do what he did or why he did. Now, remember what I said earlier, the grandfather in particular, he was the owner of a health service? I wonder if that is the connection. That potentially they need to make sure they get rid of the competitor or the opposition is the capacity. So I'm going to read on that now. For Luigi Mangione, for the grandfather, why did Luigi go after the CEO of a health insurance claim? What is the motive here? Is there any motive? Is he innocent? Maybe whoever did the crime, why did he go after them? I'm hearing back hurting, which I know Luigi has injured back, but it's not really what it means. It means something else. We do have the bottom of the cards here, 5 of Cups. It feels like we have here planning work that went behind the scenes. There was a lack of justice or a lack of appropriation, is what I'm hearing, the lack of appropriation. There is strength or motive for the death. It has to do with money. So there's a lack of appropriation for the money. Therefore, the strength and motive created a death scenario where he had to leave or flee, which means he did flee because technically he left this earth. But he left this earth, excuse me, I must have mumbled that. But he had to create a scenario that was ripe. The scenario that was ripe had to do with temperance. This is the healthcare card. Look at it. Look at the thing on top of the forehead, the water, the balance, the earthly plane, equilibrium. Equilibrium, right? I feel like it has to do with something with healthcare, a lack of money, or there is. I wonder, it feels like to me, it feels like for Luigi, it feels like there was less money going into maybe the grandfather's health program, and that caused an issue. And they wanted to take him out because maybe he wanted to buy out the company entirely instead of giving the Mangione family any money. There's some sort of motive here, and the motive is the 5 of Cups. I think this is a lot bigger than what we're seeing right now, because there's a lot more to the truth than what is being currently led. We do have the Hanged Man reverse. So this is the innocent man, which is Luigi. He's being hanged or being framed, but here's the High Priestess. I think he's going to get the justice that he needs. I do think that he's going to get the justice. I think he's going to be clear, but his family's not. Yeah, I mean, this is a lot more interesting than I really anticipated. To be honest, I know it's a little bit different than what we normally do on this YouTube channel, but I figured why not? Why not? We all need to do a little something different for once in a while, a little shift in energy. Spirit angels tell me the Mangione family guilty in potentially, quote unquote, entertainment purposes only, for life purposes only, drugging Luigi Mangione. Yes, the 3 of Cups. So yeah, I think that they were in on it. Can you tell me why they sold out, or if they sold out Luigi Mangione in replacement of monetary supplementation? I'm hearing they needed to get away. Something they needed to get away because they were pissed off that it almost feels like, okay, so this is what it feels like. It feels like Luigi is like the black sheep of the family. And that there was some sort of disagreement with the family members for a while, and they figured, well, it almost feels like the family, the father or the mother, whoever it is, didn't have any empathy for this Luigi anymore, or just, was fed up and was like, you know what, screw you, I'll teach you a lesson, we're gonna frame you for murder. That's what it feels like. Kind of messed up, you know what I mean? I guess this is what happens when you live in a rich family. I do feel like Trump is gonna pardon him. we do have the Knight of Swords here. The Knight of Swords is trying to escape. They're trying, almost like the family needed a runaway. Because we have the Queen of Cups, with celebration and lack of the Three of Swords. And the Three of Swords is telling me here that there's something that is being contained that they know that had not been revealed, and they're celebrating right now because, they got away with it. At least that's what they want to. They want you to believe that they got away with it, while also being successfully framing Luigi. We have the King of Swords here reversed. He's going to enter a period of darkness, which is why the Moon card comes up right after, being followed by the Emperor. I think he's going to find his truth. He's going to find his inner truth. Even if he gets put away and gets convicted, he's going to find the truth, and the truth will be revealed in time. But he is going to be injured by the time that it comes out. It almost feels like he is going to have some pain that's going to be inflicted upon him in prison. We do have the Chariot, the Ace of Pentacles. He's not going to have any money. He is removed from the family will. So he's removed from the family will. Almost feels like they did it on purpose. Like they needed an excuse to remove him. Just has to do with more money. This is more money related. Interesting. And we have the Wheel of Fortune here, followed by the Chariot, the Ace of Pentacles reversed, followed by the Wheel of Fortune. Which has to do with his will. The will of maybe his grandfather, grandmother, I don't know. But there's a will here. Money has to do with a connection to money after somebody dies. They need to change something. It feels like there is a clause within that will that states that you cannot gain money or get any sort of monetary or ancestral income from your ancestors if you have a criminal conviction of some type. I wonder if that was a clause that was inputted by potentially the grandfather, grandmother, maybe the mom or dad to lock him out of the will. Remember, the grandfather and the grandmother had a lot of real estate. Spirit Angel, tell me more about why did they go after the CEO though? What's the connection between the CEO, Brian Thompson, I think is his name. I'm hearing he was the innocent bystander. Now, remember, he killed more people than anybody. Just wanted to make sure that is well stated. And again, they kill people for money, right? That is what insurance does. They kill people for money. And they got away with it because theoretically it's a business or a profit. But when somebody does it without money, it's murder. Okay, so we have this, something gets uprooted, which is his life, clearly. His life gets uprooted physically. Then we have here is followed by the Three of Wands, which is overlooking the results, overlooking the data. Followed by a restriction, a release. So he was restricting something, but because of his death, something was released. And because of that, the Queen of Pentacles, it has to do with the Queen of Pentacles. It has to do with a woman here, particularly it has to do with the birth of something new. The birth of something new. I don't know what it is. We have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. A Nine of Pentacles upright, followed by the Queen of Pentacles, which is telling me already that they're the birth of something new, a fatal ideology, a fatal policy that they reverse back on, which has to do with the what they call the anesthesia, which is really stupid. But they said, we're gonna hold off on it for now. They never really said they're not gonna stop doing it. It's gonna hold off on it, because that's how corrupt insurances are. We do have the followed by the Six of Cups, going back to the past. Again, this is the reversal card, going back to the way things were in the past. Followed by the World's card, which is the portal. Which is the Three of Wands with the releasing of stress. He goes into the earthly plane. This is the Devil card, which tells me less manipulation, but with manipulation comes policy. And government, which is the Hierophant. Followed by the Lover's card, which is the agreement between man and women. The unison between humanity, followed by the reverse Knight of Swords, aided by the Two of Wands, with the enabler of the King of Wands on the side, followed by the the King of Cups, which is the Death card. So, and here is the bottom of the deck, the Tower card. So, the King of Wands is Luigi, apparently, and the King Cup is the Death card. So it's telling us the story already. There was a reversal in policy because of what happened after his death. But there is something behind the scenes here. There's a reversal in a policy that we're not aware of that was going to be instituted. And that, what we see out in the open with the anesthesia was what the facade was. But there wasn't really all that's there. There's more to the story than what we're being told. We do have the World card, followed by the Death card in reverse, which tells me there's a lack of manipulation now. But because of the manipulation that's been occurring, even though there's lack of it, that doesn't mean it's not occurring. That means that you might not be able to see what is going on because this is the portal, right? You're seeing from one perspective. When you put your head in the portal, you're seeing a portal from one time period. You're not seeing the whole picture. Or you're not seeing the whole universe. You're only seeing that specific lens through that portal. We do have the High Priestess card, which is followed by policy, which is aided in government, corrupt government, followed by the humanity between both men and women, which is the World's card, and the Devil card reversed, which is inhumane practices, followed by the Knight of Swords, which means he got away with the crime for so long, and because of it, he got punished for it. And it has to do with a lack of foreign policy. It almost feels like, in a way, there is some sort of motion potentially to take money from people who were giving money into this insurance. Again, everything in this video is just for life purposes only and for entertainment purposes only as well. But it feels like there was some sort of policy that was going to be enacted where they would take money from this subgroup and give it to this subgroup, while that subgroup that originally paid into it will suffer, while the group that didn't pay as much will get a bigger increase in healthcare services. So I wonder if that's what it feels like. It feels like there is some sort of increase, and I'm seeing more so like the rich, like the transfer of health and richness. So you could pay $300 a month, and you may get $20 in health services for a month. Whereas somebody who paid $5 a month would get $100 worth in health services. But you pay more, so you should be getting more, right? But the idea here is that they're trying to create a dynamic, a health class, so to speak, where if you are rich, you pay less, but you receive more. But if you are poor, you pay more, but you receive less. That's what it feels like. It feels like there was an underlying tone of policy and approach that was common that had not yet been announced. A movement, a change in the healthcare industry, that if once this idea was adopted, it will become nationwide, which means that we will now have a big issue on our hands regarding foreign healthcare policy. So that is the underlying tone that I'm getting, and the connection between the CEO and the unaliving of him, and why that postponed the idea and the movement that we're heading towards in terms of healthcare. But this is only a temporary step back. I do think there's going to be more to come. Yeah, there will be more to come. And once the justice has been thrown in, that's when the policy is going to start kicking in. Because it'll be like, oh, well, now we can get justice. So anybody who comes after us, we're invincible. We're going to be able to continue going forward with our policy. And there's nothing that you can do about it. So that is the information. So, again, I hope you guys liked this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon. Until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.